The liar paradox. This classic paradox arises from the statement, "This sentence is false." If the statement is true, then it's false, but if it's false, then it's true. It creates an endless loop of contradiction. Imagine a friend telling you, "Everything I say is a lie." If they're telling the truth, they're lying. If they're lying, they're telling the truth. This paradox challenges our understanding of truth and self-reference, highlighting the limitations of language and logic. It has implications in various fields, from philosophy to computer science, where self-referential statements can lead to logical inconsistencies. The ship of Theseus. Imagine an ancient ship where every part is gradually replaced over time. Is it still the same ship? If not, at what point did it become a different ship? Now, consider if someone collected all the original parts and reassembled them. Which one is the real ship of Theseus? This paradox questions the nature of identity and continuity. It applies to many real-world scenarios, like renovated buildings or even our own bodies, where cells are constantly replaced. It challenges our understanding of what makes something fundamentally itself, and whether identity is more than just the sum of its parts. The grandfather paradox. A time traveler goes back in time and kills their grandfather before their parent is conceived. This would prevent the time traveler from being born, making it impossible for them to go back in time and kill their grandfather. But if they don't kill their grandfather, they would be born and able to time travel. This creates a logical loop with no resolution. It's a popular theme in science fiction, highlighting the potential contradictions in time travel. The paradox raises questions about causality, free will, and the nature of time itself. Zeno's paradox of Achilles and the tortoise. In a race, the swift Achilles gives the slow tortoise a head start. Zeno argues that Achilles can never overtake the tortoise because he must always reach the tortoise's previous position, by which time the tortoise will have moved slightly ahead. This process continues infinitely, seemingly proving that Achilles can never catch up. Of course, in reality, Achilles would overtake the tortoise. This paradox challenges our understanding of infinity and continuous motion, leading to important mathematical concepts like limits and infinite series. The barber paradox. In a village, a barber shaves all and only those who do not shave themselves. Does the barber shave himself? If he does, he shouldn't, as he only shaves those who don't shave themselves. If he doesn't, he should, as he shaves all who don't shave themselves. This paradox, formulated by Bertrand Russell, illustrates issues in set theory and self-reference. It's similar to more complex mathematical paradoxes and has implications for the foundations of mathematics and logic. The omnipotence paradox. Can an all-powerful being create a stone so heavy that even they cannot lift it? If they can't create such a stone, they're not all-powerful. If they can't lift it, they're also not all-powerful. This paradox challenges the concept of absolute omnipotence and has been debated in theology and philosophy for centuries. It raises questions about the nature of power, the limits of logical possibility, and the definition of omnipotence itself. The Sorites paradox, the heap paradox. Start with a heap of sand and remove one grain, it's still a heap. Remove another, still a heap. At what point does it stop being a heap? This paradox highlights the vagueness of language and concepts. It applies to many real-world situations, like defining wealth, baldness, or adulthood. When does a person become old? When does a small town become a city? The Sorites paradox challenges our ability to define precise boundaries for fuzzy concepts. The bootstrap paradox. Imagine a time traveler brings a book from the future to the past and gives it to the author before they've written it. The author then copies the book and publishes it. Where did the information in the book originally come from? This paradox, often explored in science fiction, raises questions about the origin of information and the nature of causality in potential time travel scenarios. It challenges our understanding of creation and originality. Schrödinger's cat. In this thought experiment, a cat in a sealed box is both alive and dead until observed, according to quantum mechanics. This paradox illustrates the strange implications of quantum superposition and measurement. It's not just about cats. It represents the broader question of how quantum phenomena relate to our everyday observable world. The paradox has sparked debates about the nature of reality, consciousness, and the role of the observer in scientific measurements. The paradox of fiction. How can we feel genuine emotions about fictional characters or events that we know don't exist? We cry at sad movies, feel angry at villains in books, or get scared during horror films, even though we know it's all made up. This paradox challenges our understanding of the nature of emotions and their relationship to beliefs. It raises questions about the power of imagination, the psychology of engagement with art, and the very nature of what we consider real in our emotional lives. The paradox of analysis. If we can give an informative analysis of a concept, it seems we must already understand it. But if we already understand it, how can the analysis be informative? For example, if we can explain what knowledge is, we must already know what it is. But if we already know what it is, why do we need an explanation? This paradox, raised by philosopher G.E. Moore, challenges our understanding of conceptual analysis and the nature of philosophical inquiry itself. The paradox of voting. In large elections, the probability of an individual vote changing the outcome is infinitesimally small. Given the time and effort required to vote, it seems irrational for an individual to do so. Yet, if everyone followed this logic, democracy would collapse. This paradox highlights the tension between individual rationality and collective benefit. It raises questions about civic duty, the nature of rational choice, and the foundations of democratic participation.